What's up, everyone? Tomorrow is set to be a giant day in the stock market. In this video, we're going to talk about the important things that happened today and what you really need to know heading into tomorrow. The first thing we have to talk about that not too many people are even looking at is Tesla had a 3-for-1 stock split. So, Tom, tell us more.
Yeah, it says that Tesla closed at $891.29 per share on Wednesday. And today, Mike, they started trading this morning somewhere right around $304 at the high early on. We dipped down to lows of $292 right after the split. So obviously, Tesla did have the 3-for-1 split. They dropped down in price quite a bit from that $891 mark last night. And looking at it, Mike, it seems a lot more affordable now. I feel like a lot more traders might start running into Tesla here over the next maybe 6 months to a year, especially if Tesla dips down. It'll seem really affordable if it gets back down to around $200 again. So I cannot wait to see what happens with Tesla stock. But you're right, not too many people are really covering this or hyping this up too much, but they did have the 3-for-1 split. And I will say Tesla did have quite a bit of hype over the past 3 or 4 days heading up into the split. You can see there actually was some pretty green movement. I will say today, though, it did kind of dip back down a little bit.
Gotcha. So as a quick reminder, nothing changes about the company when we see stock splits. The valuation stays exactly the same. The only difference is that the stock price gets cut by 3, but the total shares outstanding or supply gets multiplied by 3. With that being said, as a consequence of the split, options will be much more affordable, especially for, everyone in the options market, obviously, because the stock is so much lower. So keep that in mind. It should be a little bit easier to trade Tesla options. But Tom, shifting over just a little bit, PLUG stock had some pretty big news today with Amazon of all companies. What is going on?
Yeah, anything is big with Amazon, especially when you're a smaller company making a deal with them. And Plug Power struck a pretty big deal with Amazon today. So actually, Amazon and Plug have worked together in the past to help try to power some of their forklifts and other things like that in their warehouses. Apparently, in 2017, Amazon acquired the right to buy up to 23% of Plug. But today, Mike, there was a huge deal that came out where they're now getting a warrant to buy up to 16 million shares of Plug at $22.98 per share, which is quite a big discount from where we're at now for at least the first 9 million shares. After that, they'll probably have to buy the rest at market price. But for those first 9 million shares, Mike, that $22.98 price tag sounds pretty good for Plug, especially looking at it right now since it's almost around $30 at market close. So sounds very interesting. It should be good for Amazon. Obviously, this is going to really help Amazon kind of get cleaner. They've been kind of pledging since 2017 that they would try to be more cleaner with all their stuff that they've been doing with all their semi trucks and stuff like that going across the globe. Obviously, they have some type of carbon footprint. So they're trying to lower that a little bit. Sounds good for Amazon. And who knows, maybe they'll even get some good tax incentives from this.
Yeah, we'll see. So PLUG stock has been absolutely crazy over the past couple years. Back in like 2019, this stock was trading for $2 a share. And then it blasted all the way up to $75 a share in early 2021. And then it fell all the way back down to like $15 a share this year. Right now, it's right around $30 each. But the main thing to know is that they're working closely with Amazon. They're a green hydrogen company and they're risky. It's a crazy stock, but they're in an industry that is growing quite a bit. And of course, when you're partnered with Amazon, it's really hard to find a better partner than that, especially in the stock market.
Yeah, it really is. They're just such a big, influential company, and I'm sure Amazon's going to do quite a bit with Plug. Like it says here, they're going to supply over 10,950 tons of green hydrogen every year starting 2025 that it will use to replace their gray hydrogen, diesel, and other fossil fuels. So it's a pretty big thing. I hope that it ends up helping Plug power out quite a bit, Mike. Like you said, they have a long way to go back up to that high of 75. So hopefully they can start to move back to the upside off of this deal. Recently, they've seen a pretty big resistance right around $32. That's also right around where they hit here today in pre-market. So watch $32. It's going to be a pretty big resistance here.
All right, sounds good. Well, Tom, everyone wants to hear about the big event tomorrow. The stock market is at a crucial point. Tomorrow is going to be crazy. Tell us why.
Yeah, it's going to be really crazy. Powell's going to speak tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time, guys. So be ready for this. It's going to be a pretty big event as he's speaking at the Jackson Hole Symposium. He's going to talk a lot about what the Feds are going to be doing with interest rates. Obviously, they're trying to bring inflation back down towards their 2% goal. And he's going to talk a lot about what the Feds are going to be doing over maybe the next couple of FOMC meetings. And I cannot wait to hear what he says. A lot of analysts have been saying he's going to be hawkish. Some have been saying he's going to maybe obviously help the market go up a little bit more. Personally, I feel like he's probably going to be a little bit hawkish, Mike. We have seen some pretty good jobs numbers lately, which honestly means that the Feds can kind of keep the rates going, obviously keep raising rates at the way that they're doing it, because we're not really seeing that translate into any jobs losses right now. So we're going to have to see what the Feds do. Some people say he's going to be hawkish, but it's going to be a big event, Mike. Honestly, looking at the SPY today, it was kind of heading up into the event, which kind of surprised me.
Gotcha. So just to be clear, there is no interest rate hike tomorrow. That's not on the schedule. What the main event is a giant economic conference. You can say it's called the Jackson Hole Symposium, and there will be a bunch of top, Federal Reserve leaders there, economists and bankers, and they're going to be talking about their opinion and thoughts and what they're seeing in the economy right now. This is very important because it could have a huge influence on just investor sentiment and what the market is pricing in. So keep that in mind. 10 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow will bring in a lot of volatility.
Yeah, it really will. And I'm really worried about obviously what he talks about for the future. Obviously, a lot of people have been looking at all these earnings going on over the past couple months and looking at consumer spending and all these different trends that we've been seeing. Some companies are doing good, some are doing bad, kind of mixed across the board. But I will say, with stocks being lower over the past couple of months, Mike, kind of like with the SPY, how we're lower overall. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen here. The SPY did have a pretty big green candle today. Looking at that daily chart, kind of filling that gap back up towards like 420 or higher. So can't wait for this big event. It's going to be a big thing tomorrow. I know a lot of traders are probably going to be trying to play some big stocks in the morning. I will say, be careful, guys. It's going to be very volatile, especially after he starts speaking.
All right, Tom. Well, with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And with the first one, we have Microsoft, and we need both levels on this one.
Yeah, they really started flying up end of day there, right up to around this 279, 280 resistance. Go ahead and make them break out above 279.15 tomorrow.
All right, and then what about the downside?
Yeah, to the downside, go ahead and make them break below 276. That's not the low of day, but that's a pretty big area of support there.
Alrighty, with the next one, we have Shopify, and this one is to the upside.
Yeah, Shopify, go ahead and make them break above the intraday resistance right around 34.40.
Boom. And then with the last one, we have Intel, also to the upside.
Yeah, I was glad to see this one up today. Go ahead and make them break above right at that high of day of 34.95.
Sounds good. So we are watching Intel, Shopify, and Microsoft for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the level Tom listed. And we're also watching Microsoft for a day trade to the downside tomorrow, only if it breaks below the level Tom listed. But I also want to give a giant shout out to today's member of the day, and that is Brewdog85. Huge shout out to Brewdog in the StockedUp Discord. You've been in the chat for 26 months now, so a little bit over 2 years. Thank you for being a very active member of the chat. Tom and I really appreciate you, and it's awesome to have you in the chat. But Tom, we also have to showcase the hybrid play from today. Our bot called out the Intel 34 strike calls at $73 each, and they boomed all the way up to $108 each today. If you're looking for daily options alerts, definitely check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Yesterday's play was with Alibaba. It went from $285 all the way up to $375 each. The bot's awesome. Of course, it doesn't win every single play ever. No software does that. No strategy does that. But the bot is very good overall. And if you don't like it, You can cancel. There's no problem with that. If you want to try it out, you can use coupon code 2022 and save around $41 off your first month. So definitely check it out. If you want to try it out, it'll be that first link in the description and the comments down below. You'll also get access to swing trades and a bunch of other tools. So it's definitely worth trying out at least for 1 month. But Tom, heading into tomorrow, do you have any favorite setups?
Yeah, a lot of stocks did well today, Mike. We talked a lot yesterday about the oil stocks doing well, and they did start to pop early on. They did start to have like an end of day resurgence. So I will be watching these oil plays tomorrow, possibly for another move back up. I will say one sector that did pretty well today was the cruise lines. I will say Royal Caribbean, CCL, and stocks like that started really flying up. So watch these like reopening plays, or I guess they're not even reopening plays anymore. We're 2 years past the pandemic, but I guess they're still counted as that. But anyways, these cruise lines are pretty much on fire, Mike. Even the airlines like AAL, DAL, and stocks like that did pretty well. They also have some pretty good double tops intraday. Like AAL has a pretty good double top up there, right around like $14.47. So if you see a breakout there, could be a pretty good play. I don't know why these reopening plays are running up so much, but with the market popping up today, it's nice to see them following along.
All right, there we go. Guys, definitely check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. Our bot is awesome, and it's definitely worth trying out, at least for 1 month. Besides that, let's end the week strong. Thank you guys for watching.